Good morning, it's Monday, so time for book talks. This week I did manage to finish 2 books, if you count the one that I was reading to my son, which I do. The first one, this was for me. I read Job by Robert Heinlein, and it is an interesting story. It was published in 1985, and it is a retelling of the story of Job. God and the devil have made a bet that they can shake the faith of this guy. At the beginning of the story, he is in Polynesia and he does a fire walk. And at the end of the fire walk, he kind of passes out and wakes up and everything is different. People he recognizes have different names. The boat that he was on has a different name, and everything is different. So everything is slightly off. And this happens several times during the story. Just as soon as he gets comfortable with the situation, things change, and he has to start all over again. I'm not going to tell you too terribly much about it, but if you're interested in books where people are super confused and explorations of religion and morality and things like that, it was interesting to read at this present day and see how similar some of the ways people think about the world are still now. And that's all I'm going to say about that for right now. The other book that I finished this week, my son and I have been reading Harry Potter since the spring, and we just finished The Goblet of Fire. And we're going to take a little bit of a break since the Order of Phoenix gets a little bit heavy, and Sam is just 8 years old, and I don't want to scar him with all of the stuff that happens in Order of Phoenix. But I just wanted to mention that it was really fun reading these to him because Sam gets really, really emotionally invested in the story. Some Sam quotes from our Harry Potter experiences. I just hate the Dursleys so much. I just want to punch them in their faces. Why don't they understand that Harry just needs friends? He just wants people to like him. What's their problem? Or, Malfoy. I just hate that guy so much. And while we were reading the Goblet of Fire, I knew there was something coming up that might really bother him. So if you have somehow managed to not see any of these Harry Potter movies and you've not read these books, if you have not read Goblet of Fire, spoiler alert, cover your ears. I'll give you a signal when we're done. But most people have read these books or seen the movies, so they know that in the Goblet of Fire, Cedric Diggory dies. Okay, if you didn't cover your ears and you didn't know that, I'm sorry for spoiling it for you. But anyway, so I knew this was coming and I wasn't quite sure how Sam was going to react to it. Well, when we get to the point where we read the part where he dies, Sam goes and just walks out of the room. He's like, nope. I can't do this. I can't read books where people die. Like, no, like, what is this? And I persuaded him to come back, and I was like, oh, come on, Sam, there's just a couple more chapters left. And he goes, I'm afraid to go on. And I'm like, it's okay, it's fine. We know Harry doesn't die because there's more books. So let's just read through it. It'll be all right. So we finished Goblet of Fire, and the other night, last night, we were going to start a new book, and he says, I'm just so used to reading Harry Potter. I just want to read more Harry Potter. I'm just so used to reading it. And I'm like, well, we really have been reading Harry Potter for a couple of months now, but still, we've read so many books with this kid. It's not like Harry Potter's the only thing he's ever read, and everything else, there's no experience. He's got lots of experience with lots of different series. So anyway, I'm trying to find something else to move on from, but this is kind of a common situation where maybe you haven't read anything else but Harry Potter, or you read some books and you didn't really like them, and then you discovered Harry Potter and you're like, these are the best books in the world and I never want to read anything else. Of course, you're welcome to read Harry Potter as many times as you like, as many people do reread the series over and over again. We have all of them, by the way, if you need them. But there are some other things you may enjoy as well. A lot of people like Harry Potter because of the underdog character, because of the fantastical adventure and action aspect of it. It is humorous in parts. It's very imaginative. So there's a couple other books you may enjoy.
Please, the medical alert is now lifted.
Yay. Okay, so we have this series, the Septimus Heap series by Angie Sage. I've read quite a few of these, and they are very adventurous and fun as well. It is about a boy who is the seventh son of a seventh son, and that makes him super magical, of course. So I'm not going to tell you a whole lot about it because I've got several books right here. We also have a series called The Unwanteds. It's really... it's very imaginative, that's the main thing, and very witty. It's a world in which kids are sorted into desirables or wanteds and then unwanteds, and all the unwanteds are supposed to be killed, okay, after a certain point. They take them and they put them on a transport and ship them away, and they're supposed to be going to die, but they don't obviously die because there's a whole island of them with, you know, magicians and creatures and stuff like that, and lots of fun things happen, and some not so fun things too. This one, Inkheart, this is now pretty much a classic. There are 3 of these. It's a trilogy. But Inkheart, the premise of the story is that the main character's father can read aloud so well that the characters actually come to life out of the story and they come into the real world. But when that happens, someone from the real world gets stuck in the story. So the main character's mother, I believe, is trapped in the story of Inkheart, and they've got to figure out how they're going to get her back. So, great story. The Alchemist. This series has been very popular here in the library. It's about a set of twins with some magical powers, and they hook up with Nicholas Flamel, who is a famous alchemist of history, and so you might be interested in that as well. Very, very fast-paced. And then lastly, this is what we started reading last night, The Gateway. This is from, 11 Thumbs, sorry. The Gateway. It's not The Gateway to Fu. But it's about this boy who has a horrible, terrible life, and this little creature comes and finds him and lets him know that he has a great destiny. Of course, he does have a great destiny. And it does start off a little bit dark, so I'm not sure if we're going to keep up with this one. Some tragedy right there at the very beginning. There's a lot of evil forces at work. So, check that out. Hopefully you found something interesting. And if you say, nope, never mind, Harry Potter, I want to read it again, that's cool too. So, see you on Thursday for a tip.